Hey guys, welcome to Cageside Rewind number 3. Is it number 3?
Is it?
Is it number 3? Yes, time flies when you're having a good time. My special guest today is the Diesel Joe Riggs.
Hello.
Hello.
Coach.
My dude.
My guy.
Good to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me. Finally, I've been begging for weeks.
How long have we been hanging out together? A long, long time.
2010, something like that?
Was that the first time?
Yeah, when I called, my hands in my hair, please God, you met me at Cheesecake Factory?
Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
And that was the start of something great.
That was. I was telling something about that the other day. When I called, I had no idea that you were a big man. I had no idea you were a big man. So I thought you were, because you always tuck yourself way in the back. So because if you see you obviously see, but you're a big guy.
They make the ugly people stand in the back.
That's why
I've been there.
That's why they stuff us in the back.
Well, my head's so big, it's like a parade float coming down.
You look young. Even I look back at pictures, you look even fucking younger.
Like an old boot.
Like an old leather
Like an old ostrich boot. Like just beat to hell. Just barely hanging on.
When I'm getting there, I'm going to be fucking dragging myself up there. Seriously, fucking life's been hard there.
I can't believe it's been that long. You know, we've been in a lot of corners together. Cornered a lot of fights.
Time flies. It really does.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about you. We had talked about you and I what fight to talk about.
Yep.
And the Nick Diaz one is obviously super well known.
Yeah.
And been covered a lot. But God, what a funny story that is.
Right.
Like, it's hard to not revisit it.
And yeah, because it's been talked about so much. When I do talk about it, it's from a different perspective of me being in it. The only thing I remember vividly is pooping my pants. Because I didn't tell anybody about that for like the first 3 years, me pooping myself. And then, fuck, what interview it was, I let it slip, and like, what? I'm like, yeah. So I just I don't have a problem laughing at myself, so I let that go, because those shorts were on for sale at the sports gallery at Mandalay Bay with the shit stain in the back.
No
It looked
way.
like they're just covered in blood, but it was actually fucking shit.
Nice. Somebody got a 2-for-1.
Yeah, 15. The guy, I don't know if I told you about this. The guy who came into my gym. He asked if he could spar with me. I ended up charging him a lot of money. I beat him half to death, but he went to the Mandalay Bay Sports Gallery and bought those shorts.
Did he really?
For $15,000.
So he got beat up twice.
Yep, fucking, it took him a moment to rub one out on him or something. It wasn't good.
So now it's a 3-for-1 on those shorts.
They did not look, they look like blood, honestly, they did. Yeah. So I give him that. And I told him they were shit. I reminded him those are shit in the back of those things. He didn't care, though.
He probably doesn't. He's probably got him hanging over his bed still.
Jerking off to him. You don't mind if I say jerk off, right?
I think we already passed
I've been okay, good.
I think we're in.
All right, good.
So we decided not to do the Nick Diaz one, only because it's been covered so much. That was an awesome fight. But you had talked about your UFC debut against Joe Doerksen.
Yes.
You already had won the UFC or the WC belt before that, is that right? Or did you win that?
That was after.
You know what I was thinking about when I was watching this? How different it is today. Because even Joe Doerksen, he was in the UFC like 3 separate times.
Right, I know.
And the same with you. You only had this one fight, Chris Lytle. First guy to ever finish Chris Lytle.
Yeah. Only guy.
A tough motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
And still a hard, tough old bird.
Yeah, actually, he's a friend of mine. He's good. He's coming down this weekend.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he is. A good guy.
Oh, cool.
I had a long fucking career, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you did.
That is long.
How long was it? Is it? Because you're still talking about fighting.
Yeah,
I won't put you in the past tense yet.
Well, yeah, ChatGPT says I'm retired.
Well, you could trust them.
That mouthy bitch, I tell you what. Swear to God. Okay, anyway, but it's I think from 2000 to 2023, something like that. 21, 22, yeah.
Why did you fight that long? Did you feel like you just had to? You wanted to?
It's all I ever, since I was 10 years old, I knew I was going to do. And I've had a hard time with retirement, man. Fucking, all I can rub one out so many times. Just kidding. No, but it's just, you look for, you got to have a passion. Doesn't mean, it doesn't matter if you're doing it for financial gain, whatever, you have to have a purpose. Yeah. And then, you get to the point where you're floundering, you have to have a routine, all that stuff. And I did the same flipping thing, for 20 years, and then being done with it. Not even really my identity for what, because I don't have an ego at all. It's just
something inside you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the biggest thing. Is if I've always lived to that thing. If a warrior doesn't have a war to fight, he might as well be fucking dead, And for not having that war to fight, kind of didn't really know what to do. So I guess you gotta.
I don't agree with you.
No, for sure not.
There's lots of good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, not really. I mean, you don't push out the passion, hang it, something like that. But it's just like I get like that. So I mean, I almost in my mind have to build something up into my mind, and kind of just the way that I am.
When you've competed in every organization, pretty much.
Pretty close. That's pretty close.
All over the world.
Yeah.
WC champ, Strikeforce champ, fought Matt Hughes for the belt. And weren't you guys teammates a little bit before that happened?
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I remember you talking about it.
That's a nice transition. That's nice. I do like that. That's smooth. I couldn't have done that myself. That's nice. But it's Matt. Matt was I don't like that because he had the train accident, obviously. But he didn't treat people very well. And so I was down at Matt Hughes, and I was real close with Rich Franklin, Tim Sylvia. And he just would like slap old Tim around, like it was like almost like a high school bully. And he tried to do it with me. I mean, it would be a fight to do. I mean, he would have to physically fight me. But he would bully the guys around him, and he would kind of did that at home and stuff like that. Kind of did with his brother Mark. I mean, there was obviously some good things about Matt, but some.
Well, I mean, kind of you got to. I mean, you don't have to be. We've known some people that are real nice, but they're pretty mean when it comes down to it.
For sure, yeah. I mean,
for Matt, I think that was part of him.
Absolutely,
great.
When I was, it was the fight after we fought. I forget which fight it was, but I was cutting weight, and when I wasn't the best fight. When he fought, he was wearing those shorts that he fought me in. Yeah. And he said, "You like these shorts? Didn't get much airtime the last time. I ended up throwing like the eucalyptus in his face, and just not. I didn't think about it, and it just really irritated the fuck out of me. Actually, with Lisa, I don't tell you told you about this story. It's in his little book. Lisa and I were going to a sponsor of mine, and he also sponsored Matt. And so I get there, and Lisa and I walk in, and Matt is on the lazy boy. And first time that Lisa had met him, and so I'm like, Lisa, this is Matt, Matt's Lisa. And then he said something like, so I had to beat your husband's ass, something like that. And then I'm like, bitch, like fucking beating my ass, like fuck, I just lost it. I mean, fuck it, again, you disrespect me to a certain point, especially in front of my wife at the time. That's just about it makes me angry. So then, again, mistake my kindness for weakness. And Lisa threw a shoe at him, hit him in the head of the shoe.
Nice.
Yeah, which is, Matt goes, the shoe, really? That's what he said. And I'm like, yes,
he said that?
Yeah, he did. Because it bounced off right off his fucking bean.
Oh, that's perfect.
It was good, especially because I was, at that point, I mean, I can't get to him. There was no really point anyways, but yeah, Lisa, I think, which is good, Yeah, but anyway, he just like that. And it got a little goose egg from
image of that.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to make
because there was nobody like separating them. It just sailed over because like a Gimby throw. That was good. And he reacted. I'm glad he even said that. Him saying, a shoe really is better than going, oh. Yeah. That's good.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you ever, when you rode with your parents and they would like try to block you from getting hurt? I remember my mom did that to me, and I was like 23. And I was so irritated. I wanted to get her arm off me, but I couldn't. I was like a 3-year-old child, and I just let myself be saved. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
All right.
Yeah, my dad did that. When my dad did that same thing, I didn't even realize what he was doing until he told me, because he opened the door. He was opening the door at the same time. He ended up falling out of the truck, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
Maybe I should do that for you, Dad.
Yeah. You just got to go with it. You would like to fall out of a truck?
Oh, jeez. No, I mean, you should have saved him.
I was fucking like 10. Yeah. He shouldn't have been drinking when I was 10 either.
No.
Yeah. You ever fell out of a vehicle?
There might be a secondary.
For sure.
Reason for falling.
Have you ever fell out of a vehicle?
I don't think I have.
You got to try it.
I might have been pushed out of one.
No, it's my Jeep. I got.
I should try it.
It's something. No, you shouldn't try it. But I was driving my Jeep. I was turning right in the cul-de-sac. My Jeep had no doors, and I just fucking threw myself out of my Jeep.
You did not.
Yeah, and fucking just watched it run right into a house. And then it was a good time. I was so upset. I was so sad.
And you guys got to pretend. Did you see the guy?
Yeah,
he took my Jeep and they pushed me out.
Yeah. There was nobody in that fucking Jeep but you.
It was 6'10" or something, Hawaiian, long hair.
It was, and my legs I was trying hard to hang in it. It was fucking terrible. I would love to get a fucking video of that for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was doing hay one time. I grew up on a farm. And so
I know that.
When you do the hay bales by yourself, you just let the tractor drive. And you aim it between the rows and you throw the hay bales on. And as it drives, you catch up. And then you stop it and stack it up. I went out with my brother, and he didn't want to go. He was not a farm boy. He'll be mad I told this story. I love this story.
Doesn't matter.
And so the thing is driving. And he's mad. He doesn't want to be out in the fucking hayfield, I'll tell you that.
No.
And he goes to throw a hay bale up on the thing, and his foot slips, and it catches underneath the tire of the trailer.
Yeah.
And he went down, and the trailer starts to roll up over him.
Oh, fuck.
And I saw it. I bounded up onto the tractor to stop it. And right when it got on him is when I got there.
Really?
So I had to wait for it to finish and roll off of him. And I ran over there. I was like, oh, my God, I think I killed him. And I go, hey, okay? He's writhing around.
My legs!
My legs. I go, hang on a second, let's see. I moved one. Oh, that was okay. Moved the other. He goes, I think I'm okay. And I died. I started laughing.
Oh my God.
He was so angry.
Oh, fuck. I would have fucking died.
You got run over by a tractor going 2 miles an hour.
You couldn't escape it?
Oh.
Help! Oh, that's pretty fucking bad. Now I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was the best moment of my life. I still remind him.
You think he'll watch this?
I'm going to send it to him.
Oh,
I'm going to send him the clip for sure.
If you get ran over by your own tractor going 2 miles an hour, it's pretty bad.
So
fucking
good.
day.
It was so good. And
that's worse than falling out of your own Jeep.
But that's kind of the same thing. Only I'm glad you didn't get.
I almost ran my legs over. I was almost scared.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, that would have been fucking
All right,
bad.
back to Matt Hughes. So you fought him for the title. He was kind of your teammate at the time.
Yeah, just over at Militich, and so like, he was kind of, one thing with Matt is he would only come in and train when he would get ready for a fight.
Huh.
He wouldn't. That's why he wouldn't improve and the sport passed him by. It's because he would not come in and.
Well, that's kind of old school,
for sure.
Right? Were you like that too, or did you train all the time?
I train all the time.
Yeah.
It's what I. Yeah, did that to keep me kind of sane. But yeah, Matt, everybody around his life kind of conformed to him, kind of bent over backwards for him. I saw that. I'm like, fuck. I mean, you see, different guys kind of how they navigate through life, but he was just treating people very poorly.
Well, he was a force of nature, personality-wise.
Yeah, he's a freak. It's not easy navigating how people treat you. You know what I mean? You don't.
Yeah.
Just because everybody else treats you a certain way doesn't give you a right to treat people bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like a high school boy mentality, and I don't like that. I mean, Matt was, and he didn't have a good, his personality, didn't give the same sense of humor. It's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh at someone falling down, then fuck you.
Yeah.
And he did. Yeah, he was very, very. I mean, he was a.
How was that Militich thing like that though? Because it was such a strong team, and with him around, it seems like it would be hard to.
Yeah, now me saying this, there's 1,000 good things about Matt. I'm sure. I didn't get to see him because but I'm sure. But it's a very rough environment. Like before sparring, Pat would say, I want to see like 2 or 3 people flat on their fucking back looking up at the lights. And it's like, if you want a hard, good practice, and you pray for someone not to get dropped. You know what I mean? Yeah. So again, that's the mentality.
Well, nowadays it's a lot different.
A lot for sure.
We're really trying to not get people hurt.
No, there's so many fighters leave their best rounds in the gym. You want to avoid that. But back then, didn't know.
Fuck, man, but it made champions back in the day. There's a bunch of them that were good. Who'd you train with back then?
Like Robbie Lawler and Roy Markham.
Yeah. So Robbie Lawler, did you train with Matt at all? Or
under protest. Because there was never, I could feel his energy. He didn't mean me any good. He didn't. I'm
trying to hurt you when you're training.
For sure, he wouldn't spar with me. He would only start in bad positions where he could do things. Because I trained with him before we fought, and I just worked him over terribly. Made me feel really good. With Rich Franklin, we thought for sure I was going to win the fight, and then just couldn't mentally put it together. But and he loved that afterwards. It's fucking to the victor go the spoils. What are you gonna do?
So that when I was looking at that though, you had won 2 UFC fights, but you were 2-1. They gave you a title shot, and then as I was looking at Doerksen too, like you went from the UFC to the WC. Yeah. You had a Rage in the Cage fight, and then back to the UFC.
Huh?
That stuff doesn't happen these days.
No.
And in the old days, like some of the older guys, they have worse records because they fought everybody and they fought all the time.
You'll never see a guy that has 50 fights anymore. No. You won't see it anymore. And then much less 100 fights. It's for sure.
Well, back then they would fight. I was talking to Rob about his first fight. Mm-hmm. He fought Jens Pulver.
Right. Yeah.
Jens Pulver was the UFC champion.
It's crazy.
And fought him in his first fight.
That's because being able to see so many different times, like from 2004 to 2016, 17, 18, something like that's different times, and then much less even now. A lot more now. So it just changes so much.
What would you say the biggest difference is, if you had to qualify it from then to now?
The people give it a shit. Like the workers at the UFC, they don't seem to give a fuck. They do so many.
Yeah.
Everything used to, I guess, mean more, something like that. That's because there was less events, less fighters. They were just more, just the big, when something gets big like that, it doesn't corrupt it, but it doesn't make it, it's not as special as it was.
Well, maybe it corrupts it emotionally.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
Financially, you know, but
Yeah, I mean,
do you think that's like I say this from perspective of being like we kind of tend to romanticize the times that we were doing things.
Always.
Do you feel like that's true, or just do you like it?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, because I tend to, when I look at fighters, I tend to go for the old ones for sure. But I mean, I ask people things. I read a lot of things. The sentiment's pretty much the same thing on the time. Like you were, I mean, you were in the. That's when Benson was Benson's reign. That's when, in my opinion, that was the heyday. The sweetest part of the UFC.
Because it had just gotten big enough for people to.
Yeah, and then I mean, it was huge, but it wasn't like commercial. It was huge. I mean, the money. I mean, it was just, that was a special time. You know what I mean? And it was a special time back then too. Like when I first got in the UFC, it was right when because Dana White called fucking that Scott guy and asked if I would come in the Ultimate Fighter or I could make my debut. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, which I couldn't. The reason why I didn't go on the show back then was because I didn't want to leave my dad. Yeah. You know, because I had a hard time leaving. But I mean, and I didn't think the show was going to do well.
The first one, the Diego Sanchez one. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been a great one for you.
Yeah, I couldn't have went like because it was when I went on that one show.
The Fight Master show.
Yeah, that was fucking. I was a lot mentally better.
But that was long too. Fight Master.
Yeah, how long was it?
I thought it was 8 weeks.
Was
I think the Ultimate Fighter is 6 weeks now.
Is it really?
I think
on the Fight Master they gave me a lot better treatment than a lot of people.
I like that cul-de-sac haircut. I'm gonna have to find a copy of that.
And have you seen the one because when Tim ate cereal with a dick hair mustache?
Yeah.
I could have courtesy of myself, but they didn't put any of that stuff. Which is crazy. I was so devastated. I thought for sure they were going to come in and not let him shave my head, because I thought for sure. Because there's nothing to do. All they do is they fill the house with alcohol, so you get fucked up and make a fool of yourself. Which I'll make a fool of myself, but I mean I don't need alcohol to do it.
Yeah, we can just go fresh.
Yeah.
Be fine.
It's so fun. We play in pool and just betting on pool games, and then fucking me and Tim. It was the first game was that whoever lost would have to put honey on his lips and the other person shave their dick hairs and put them. Is the dick hairs necessary? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
So then I won, and so Tim had to eat that, and so they were recording it, and then I lift up my pants, and I had to shave a part of my leg, so he thought it was that, but I really got under my gooch and everything. Oh. And then he got a little more frivolous with the spoon. He was and then so afterwards I'm like, yeah, and he was like, no. So then
he revealed it.
Oh yeah,
it was like the House Hunters.
Big reveal. He was so upset, but I loved it. But then so after that, when I lost the next game, I was pounding that little red turd too, and then I dropped the 8-ball. So, but it was a shave of cul-de-sac in the head, which the reason why I even said that, I thought the producer wasn't going to allow me to cut, because I would get fined if I didn't shave my hair, dye my hair. So then they fucking knee on the belly, head in his hand, and he looked at me, you made me do this. Oh, I was so upset.
Didn't he get one too?
No, just me.
Just you.
It was so he was the dick hair mustache. I took the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, but the cul-de-sac is a bit more permanent.
Yeah, it is. And
let's call it semi-permanent.
Well, because I have a wrinkled head, so then I had to shave my head and look like a fool the rest of the show. It was just fucking terrible.
Won the show.
I did.
So maybe we need a new cul-de-sac.
No, thanks to that cul-de-sac.
Or maybe that was
the first fight. I kept it the first fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember watching and I didn't see it.
No, I didn't, because on the Ultimate Fighter, how many fights do you win?
I think
including the finals?
2, and then you get in the show. You got to do 3.
5 altogether.
5?
Yeah. It was 30-minute tournament. So what's that? Is that 5?
So 3 in the house and 1 at Bronzoulis at the end.
So not even, that's 2. That's 2. I said 5?
Yeah.
No,
so they're in the same realm. They're both under 10.
We're good to go then. We're safe.
All right. So that you did the Bronzoulis fight and that not Ultimate Fighter, the Fight Master show. Yeah. When you were here. Man, where did you like to fight the best weight-wise?
Weight? Fuck, that's a good question. I like to fight to be honest with you, if I wanted to just really fucking let my balls hang out here, if I stayed at heavyweight, I think I would have had more success than anything. You really do? I really do. Because there's something about I did well with heavyweights. I think my record as heavyweight was like 18-2, and then because I was smaller, I was fast, I was so powerful. But because a lot of the heavyweights, if you take their fat down, if you bleed them dry of what weight they should be, they're usually 85 pounders anyways. I mean, sometimes you get big fucks, but I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I can tell you don't think so.
Well, I always remember when you came here.
Yeah.
I was like, you at 70, you mall people, you fought for a championship at 70.
Mm-hmm.
And
did I win? Was that a WC champion? Was it 85 or 70? I don't know. I forget.
I don't remember. I saw the guy. Let me see. You fought Rob Kimmons. Do you remember the weight?
I think that was 85.
He was undefeated.
Yeah, he was 16 when I fought him. 185, yeah, it was 185.
Yeah, always the problem with 85 is they're big humans. They're
that's 6'3", fuck yeah, it
big
sucks.
range.
Any 85 pounder could be a heavyweight at the end of the day. If they just put some fat on them because, seriously.
Concentrate on eating a little bit.
Yeah, they're just not too arrogant not to have tits. There's nothing wrong with that.
Who doesn't like that on a man?
I enjoy it on a man.
Set of D cups on
Oh God, some 34 longs. That's looking good.
Oh shit!
If I had gyno, that would be hard to fucking shake off. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be easy.
You ever seen that one video?
And plus, with you're so open with stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely would let people know you had it.
Well, fuck yeah.
And you'd have to deal with the repercussions.
I'd go out with a clothespin on it or something like that. Hey, you remember Zach Light?
No.
Okay, he's probably, I shouldn't probably say this, but I will. So this guy, Zach Light, he was a put together guy. He was with like Rampage's camp.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that fight. He was jumping up and down. His tip was going wha-pow, wha-pow, and it was with he wasn't even.
And you can't let that go.
No, fuck no.
For you,
didn't he know that?
The audience would be like, well, he fought really well. Let's just let him slide.
Nope. Actually, when I saw it, I believe I was like 15 or 16, and it stuck in my mind. And so when in real life I saw him, I fucking like a tractor beam. I lasered in on those tits, and I asked to see him, and he got him surgically fixed.
So stupid.
Because they were. Yeah. I go, hey, you.
Dear sir.
Yeah, dear sir.
Might I have a gander at your tip?
It was a lot. I didn't have that much couth, but it was bad. But yeah, he got it removed. But it was, he had gyno, didn't he?
I don't know. I never saw him, I imagine.
Yeah, have you seen that one? It was in the UFC. It was his next fight came off. He had about, man, it was a good sized titty on him. He's a big fucking man. He's a big guy.
It's hilarious. I'm gonna have to look him up now.
Oh, Zach Light? Yeah.
Captain Jack is gonna put him in the video.
It's hard to fucking find.
Is it?
But yeah, because it was like one. You'll find it. If you don't, it's not fair. If you have to find it, but it's the worst I've ever seen of any guy know.
All right, first fight in the UFC. Joe Doerksen. You're a kid.
How was it? 20 or 21?
49, 21 years old. All right, Jack, pull this thing up. Let's watch this fight. So here we go. Turn this down just a little bit.
See, I wish they'd bring that music back.
Yeah, I like the old music.
This was the first fight when they stopped coming out. They used to come out like the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like that. This is the first fight when they walk out the back.
When you got signed to the UFC, did it feel different or did it feel just the same? Like another fight?
Fuck no.
No?
No, I feel I was just charged up. I dreamt of that since I was a little boy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the diesel. When did you get the diesel tattoo?
When I was fat.
And did the letters shrink?
They did. Does it look like it did?
No.
No, it used to be straight across though. No, it did. It was always down like that, but it hurt like a motherfucker.
Who gave you the nickname?
Fucking Roland, Raising the Cage.
Really?
They did.
And why did he give it to you?
I thought just because I run the fuck over people, but it was just my last name's Riggs, Diesel Riggs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think he actually put that together though.
He probably did.
I don't know. I give him.
For as weird as Roland is.
Yeah, that guy. Oh fucking thank God. That guy we'd be at an after party, because after a fight, and we'd be at like a bar table like this. He'd be pissing on people's feet underneath there.
Oh God.
And I thought that was hilarious. It was, but he was a fucking addict. He was like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
And I'm like 16 years old, looking under them, just finding it.
Yeah. Story about Roland. He was trained in Southern California when I trained there, and he was friends with my guys. He was at Hicks and Gracie's school.
Okay.
But we were at the other one. He said that nobody could choke him out. And they had a film of him getting choked out.
Oh, fuck, really?
All drunk. That guy, every time I ever met Roland, he was drunk.
Of course.
Every time.
He's a
Hey, how about old Steve Mazzagatti here?
I love Mazzagatti. Oh, the twins, Trevor and Lally. And Tom.
So you were training at ACS in this fight. Yeah.
I for 3 years. I trained there for my whole.
I like the way the diesel on the butt matches the diesel on the belly. Yeah.
I still got those shorts.
You dance a lot more here when you were younger.
I changed styles 2 or 3 times. I look back on, I took like 4 or 5 to the cock too. Look, rewind. There's one, I think it's in the first round.
No, it's the next round.
Was it? Pow!
He hit you 2 solid ones.
Yeah. That's the only time I've been hurt too.
All open stance though, that happens quite a bit, right?
Yeah, but I don't, yeah.
Now, with your background in wrestling, why do you think he chose to try to wrestle you? And what are you doing in the guard?
I don't know.
What are you doing in the guard, Mr.?
I don't know what I was thinking. Well, he has that. I was that kind of that jiu-jitsu thing. Like he just stayed tight with it. That's look at that. See.
Now, when he picked you up there,
yeah.
Like, what do you think he's thinking there?
That's a good point because I did the same thing to him, but you got to read the room. You got to see how far you go.
Well, I mean,
he didn't want me to stand up.
You're a good wrestler, so and you're not super known. Like you had finishes on your back, of course.
Yeah, that was my first.
In those early days, a bunch of people like they had a knockout, and then they had a triangle, and
for sure
this. But like, if you're Doerksen, you want you on your back, don't you?
For sure, absolutely.
So why would he pick you?
I don't fucking know. There's no. I think because he said he turned the UFC down 3 different times before this.
Yeah.
This was his debut as well. He turned it down because he wasn't ready, this and that. So he mentally. So I don't think he was right.
When he did the pre-fight interviews that we were watching before, he's like, I'm gonna do my best. I think I can maybe. I was like,
every interview I've ever seen is like these.
Was he like that?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know that's great.
It isn't. No, it's fucking horrible.
Anyway, if I were him, if I got to kick you in the balls and then take you down, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Fight's going my way so far.
And it's like almost in the center of the mat with my head facing the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. So here we are. Little cage
work. Look at my hair there too. Fuck.
I like that little pull side knee. It was nice.
I got through that?
Yeah.
See, this is just pure athleticism.
Well, wrestling scrambling.
Yeah.
Right? And his willingness to stay on the bottom.
See, that was a big thing. And he actually had pretty decent defense.
Honestly, I was super impressed because, you told me this when we met. You have great ground and pound. Mm-hmm. And now I know that, and I think about this. I'm wondering why in the world he puts you.
Because it took me like a round to really get my rhythm on top. I didn't feel it.
Well, and I think his freshness too. Like, look, he's got some good flexibility.
And I'm dry too. I'm sticky as shit. Yeah. So all this is. I was worried here. I didn't know if you watch. I didn't throw the legs by this point. I was just jump in, and I lost my next. Yeah, I lost my next fight because.
And a triangle was salivary, right?
Yep. And then. Yeah, I did, but everything is posture. I see guys fight nowadays. See, I don't even throw his legs by at all.
Go left hand now. You're like, well, that right hand landed. Let's see what happens with this left.
But people don't posture. People don't really ground and pound like you should. They don't understand that.
So what was the game plan here?
If you listen to my corner at Trevor, they're like begging me to stand up.
Yeah. Especially in the second round.
Yeah.
I was going to give you a bad time about how badly you were listening.
Please stand up, just because when it's only me in there. You know what I mean? I mean, your corners can be, you guys can be as in tune as you want to be. At the end of the day, it's only you in there, and you have to make those adjustments.
For me, if I was cornering you and I was that insistent, I would have asked you about it. You're like, hey, I feel like I have the advantage.
Again, you have mastered the corner.
Because I would try to be like, okay, if we're going to be on the ground, then can you please do this?
Absolutely.
Right?
Okay, 100%.
So we don't put ourselves in a triangle or arm lock or something.
Exactly. But that's what you do. I mean, honestly, people, you think in corners and stuff like that. I mean, it's back then, that's almost like feeling like, come on, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Like yelling at you and stuff like you were.
Well, I mean, as a coach, I'm sure you felt this a little bit, but you really... Like, you feel like you want to be almost a puppet master.
Fuck yeah.
You have to fight against that feeling.
The less that me or any other fighters in their head, they're just doing what they're told, the better they do. You know what I mean? Because you have better view than we do.
Well, I mean, it's nice if you can use the view of the helicopter to get a lay of the land, right?
Absolutely.
But you have to use it.
Yeah,
and if you feel like...
How many times that happened? Honestly, this is an honest question. What is it? I mean... 5 times you felt the most helpless. Like you could say what you want and nothing. I mean, what is the?
I mean, it's been hundreds of times.
Does the 3 stand out worse than any? I mean, if you don't want to say, you don't have to.
No, I mean a little, but no.
I've been jammed up before. I mean, I've been jammed up.
The other night with Alexis, we just went to Texas and fought in Fury.
Really?
And he's a very good wrestler, but he would not disengage. He was only controlling the guy. And I've given him a bad time since about it, right? Because if he opens up Saturday, he won.
What round did you Just
2.5, halfway through the second. So
it's usually where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I would yell to him if he, try to coach him if he was getting in trouble or if there's things he needed. But obviously he was in a place where he just needed to work.
And your voice, because there's never an excuse that somebody can't hear you.
Yeah, I love that guy. Like, Alexis is a great guy.
He's a very intelligent guy too, for sure.
So it's more about me going, all right, I'm just wasting my voice.
Yeah.
And I need to help him do what he does, not for what I think he should do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so what are you thinking here?
Everything. I feel like I'm going 1,000 miles an hour. Right there, I actually, right around this point, I lock eyes with a fat guy in the crowd. And I do it all the time. I do.
Just fat guys, or is anybody?
I try to look at whoever catches my eye. Usually a fat man, yeah. It's usually what it is. You see, I was driving that knee right through his tits.
Yeah. That was
tabletop.
Nice. Yeah, that was nice from the back. Did he was pushing you around a little bit. Did he just push his way into that?
Yeah.
You think?
I was letting him kind of float back to me.
Honestly, he impressed me, and when I watched this, he impressed me with his use of his butterfly guard and some more modern concepts as far as guard go.
He does. God, he does better. He did a good job of controlling my hands. See, even looking at this fucking shit, not throwing the legs by is such a travesty. I don't know what. See, look at that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts my tit. Look at this. That's high level too. If I wasn't such a fucking athlete, it would have worked.
Yeah. Well,
it did work.
It did work.
But I get back up.
But like that's high level stuff for him to hit. Him trapping your leg like that.
I'm a little embarrassed that it worked on me, to be honest with you. That was the biggest thing. I could feel
But how easy when he started to get up, you just heist it out of there with your wizard. Just wrestling 101.
Yep. And just he kept trying like this. He was trying to live and die by his fuck right to the back of the head.
I was gonna say that was straight.
That's fucking terrible. Not even there was
like this little. I think this butterfly sweep here he tries to use, but
he felt too confident in his guard. That's because Jeremy, who I worked with years later, Jeremy Horn was in his corner. He especially with someone like me, you sit at the bottom. You accept being on bottom. I'm going to finish you.
Well, you're too heavy. You're too scrambly.
I remember I got a spray. I look pale as fuck, but I got a spray tan for this fight.
That's a spray tan?
Yes, sir.
You go, I'll take the pale white.
I'll take it. Yes, exactly.
I'll take the fish bottom color, please.
That's legal.
How do you get called now? What's Mazzagatti thinking?
That's legal, right?
Yeah.
He stands me up.
We need to watch that.
Rewind that. I didn't. To this day, I don't understand it.
Because he upkicked you pretty well.
Yeah, right in the beak.
It felt like it made you mad.
It did.
Like, oh, you're going to
It did, really did. I think right in the sniffer, too.
Oh. See, those elbows are getting closer now. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good elbow.
I did stomp Matt Banger.
He said you stomped him, I think. But that's just an axe kick that missed.
That's it.
And didn't even hit the target.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, because what if I would have been fucking exhausted or if I didn't want to be on the feet? Watching me getting stuck in the feet.
Sometimes when I see you when you're younger, your striking is so good, you do let yourself go to the ground. I think ultimately in your heart, you trust your ground and pound more.
I do. Oh, fuck yeah, for sure. I don't know why.
And I think with Doerksen too, he wanted you on the ground bad.
He did. Some takedowns he would fight. Sometimes he would just roll through it.
Oh, you almost tabletopped him.
Yeah.
And he almost got hit with
He almost spiked his fucking head in the ground.
Yeah.
He had a weird smell to him. He did. I remember that. Very. You know what I mean? It smelled like pepper.
Cinnamon and mahogany.
It smelled like pepper. That's what it was.
Pepper?
Yeah, I actually said something to him because
I wanted the Ron Burgundy line. You smell of mahogany.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Have you seen that? He kept trying to chop that leg down. I mean, it wasn't a normal sweep.
No, he was trying to just catch like a scissor sweep almost.
Really?
But without the leg on top.
All these guys in his corner were fucking my guys. Sorry, this is it's over in this round, right?
Yeah.
See, rewind that, coach. Turn that up and rewind that.
Groin
See if you can hear my balls getting snapped.
Is that Jeremy?
Yeah, and Matt. Listen, here goes.
2, give round 1 to Joe Riggs.
Ooh. Is that I get another one, right? Number 2 of them.
No, that's it.
Yeah, I've all the times I've been kicked in the balls, that's the only time it actually hurt.
Which is weird, right? Like, as you play sports, like I never could wear a cup.
No.
And I should have.
It sucked.
But in football, like I couldn't. And grappling, it's so uncomfortable.
Oh, God.
But then all you need is one of those, and you're like, you know what? This cup is a good idea.
You know, like for the Fight Master, the whole show, I went in there with no cup at all. I knocked on my bare dong. I did. I would forget about it because you can move more without a cup.
But you know what?
Joe's a good
Southpaw to orthodox. It happens a lot.
It does.
Remember James Nakashima? He had the record for dick kicks.
Did you?
Oh God! Every guy we fought got kicked in the groin.
You know, I wasn't a huge kicker, but every time I've never kicked anybody.
What'd you say to him?
I don't remember.
I'll kill you if you
I'll
kick
kill
me.
you. You hear that? Yeah. Jerry, he was
So he's slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that left hand was nice.
his fast hands. I don't know. I mean, the fight would have been a lot easier if I didn't.
Good job by Doerksen getting double underhooks.
He was trying to roll through that sweep, huh?
Yeah, you sat your hips really good, and as he lost his energy, his wrestling went down lower and lower.
Because some of his fights, man, like he fought CB Dollar, he took him down over and over and over.
Yeah, Doerksen did.
Mm-hmm.
And CB's a good wrestler.
He hung CB, yeah. He hung him, yeah. See, I didn't take him too high.
CB got him.
Did he?
Yeah.
So it's. Was he beating him up in that fight? What happened?
I didn't see it. All I saw was the result.
I think that's what happened. I don't know.
CB's got a good.
CB's fucking good. CB's really good.
You've always, from this position, you've always felt good to me.
I'd rather be in the guard than full mount than side mount, half guard, anything.
I'd rather people be in half guard. I just worry about the triangle with your posture sometimes being so low. Did you ever struggle with getting caught triangles on
I did when I was younger. But
again, he's doing a great job with that butterfly sweep. He just doesn't have the energy. Rather than wrestle up there,
I got really heavy hips. So it's got to be. What's my jock strap hanging out like that for? What the fuck?
that's free advertisement, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus, doesn't look at the
You probably kicked your groin so hard that thing popped all the way.
Oh God, that really did fucking hurt. I think that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah. The walkout was the beginning of the end.
Yo, nicely done. That was nice. That made me feel good about myself. That was just good. And so I think that fucking jock strap's hard to look away from.
You know, I remember when. Here, I'm going to push pause on this just because I want to talk about this story. So to get here, we had just beat Shane Johnson.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Beat him.
Oh, I did.
Yes.
Nice. Fucking nice.
And our first fight together. Johnson fought the old bad life.
Yes.
And you were mad at me because I called him an old bad life.
yeah. Don't divide. Yeah. He's not hurt at all. That fucking hurts.
But I was like, man, this guy doesn't stand a chance against you.
Yeah.
And I hadn't watched your career because I was kind of young in MMA.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been, not that I wasn't.
And you're from Colorado too, where
Yeah.
you came from Colorado.
And I didn't really know. I trained with Hoist, so we didn't, the new rules of the UFC, which weren't, which are just common now, but I didn't like them. I was like, no time limits.
Yeah, more of the Hoist style from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, that's all I knew, right? I was drinking the Kool-Aid pretty heartily back then.
Yeah.
No, I was, and I liked the idea of, that's why I like jiu-jitsu, being able to defend myself against a bigger guy. Just hadn't run into anybody that could hold me there and beat the hell out of me while I was trying to do my guard,
Yeah.
So we go to the show, the Rage in the Cage show, which is where you kind of had started.
Yeah.
And I remember, we were excited about getting your career going again. And we were fighting old Shane again. I walk in there and Jamie Varner was there, John Moraga was there, Ben Henderson was there, Mitch Clark was there. Maybe Scott Holtzman was there.
Yeah,
Brian Barber.
A lot of people was there, for sure.
Like all these UFC fighters or future. I don't think Brian was there yet. Maybe Scott wasn't there yet. But like a whole row, and they let us walk you out, right? So, and
like the whole 5 feet.
Yeah, and they're like, you can't sit down, but they let us come back.
For sure.
It's cool. So I remember watching the fight, and soon enough it hits the ground, and you go your old half guard trick. You reach back to the toe hold and say,
yeah! Boom!
You hit him so hard. To this day, it's the hardest I ever heard anybody get hit. It was like, and then his head hit the mat. And it was so loud, and he went super stiff. The most I've ever seen anybody.
I was getting worried he wouldn't wake up.
So I get up to the cage, and I remember looking at Cageside at all the UFC guys, and Ben's face was like, oh. And John Moraga's like, ah. Jamie Varner's like, oh. Like all the guys were like, oh my God, that was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm being cool, like, we'll just handle it rough. And you walked over, I go, good, man, that's what it's supposed to look like. You go, coach, is he okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he's fine. And you turned away, and I saw him still stiff, and I go to Ben, I go, is he okay?
Yeah, not even moving, right?
No.
Yeah, shit.
Totally stiff. And then he was fine.
Yeah.
It's because you hit him and he was 174 years old.
He was fucking dying. Yeah, he's already fucking dead.
So,
and then I fucking talked about my dick afterwards, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
And that was my least favorite moment.
You enjoyed it. No, dude,
so I'm waiting to go to the cage for Joe, right? Like we're waiting, and he goes and he's talking, and I go to wander in there to give him your shirt or whatever. If you're having trouble with your dick, Dr. Jones has the ED cure, and he's made me hard as Chinese algebra, or whatever you said.
Yeah.
And I just,
I had a whole spiel,
eased right back out of the cage.
Oh,
I'll just meet you in the back.
I saw you just retract. I was like, hey, his dick's hard. And yeah, fucking back to business. And that stuff doesn't like when I'm talking about it. When people have that, like, oh God, it doesn't. I don't have that.
No, you don't.
I just go right through.
As evidenced.
As evidence, fucking talking about my balls all the time.
Anyway, I had to tell that story because you had told me you have very good ground and pound, and how I didn't know that, I don't know, but anyway,
that's terrible. That I wasn't bragging. I don't know what the actual conversation was, but
it was. I wasn't. It was bad. You're like, I'm pretty good at this.
Good.
And a couple of people have told me like, oh, he's great at this. And since then, I think you're the best that's ever done it.
I do too.
In that area, for sure.
I do too.
All right, let's watch it. Sorry, Joe Doerksen, this has got to happen.
Good night, sweet friends.
Better you than me, baby.
He says that's always better him than me.
That elbow to the
tips.
belly is hard. That's what I worry about is those triangles. But
unless I'm falling into them. Cop 28, remember them? Remember that sponsor? Cop 28?
Yeah. I remember just seeing all the old school UFC stuff was pretty cool because I haven't watched it in a while.
I guess I have all his clothes.
And the problem with traditional jiu-jitsu and fighting is this what it tends to look like. Now we're just trying to hold on to the guy and they're slippery. We're not have the angles we used to have.
Fuck, even the way I'm throwing looks fucking terrible. I didn't start fucking getting right.
Were you tired a little bit or did you feel
Fuck
fine?
yeah, I felt fucking, my shoulders felt like boulders.
Just because him hanging on to you and having to work out of it?
It was my UFC debut, a lot of fucking nerves, especially, I don't know if you know, it was right before the main event. There was a swing bout.
Once he missed this is the end here.
Oh, why he's sad when he fucking dropped hammer.
Oh.
He's laying there.
That right elbow was nasty.
He took like 3 of them on his dome. When he checks his, I remember he checks his own blood after I break it. That's it, Tony. He checks his own blood to see if he's bleeding. That's it.
Gosh.
He let 6'12" elbows come. I remember, 6'12".
That one right there is the one that put old Battle Axe to sleep.
His elbow goes from 6'12" from his nose to his elbow. Yeah.
Oh. He doesn't want any more. Yeah. I think he was hoping Mazzagatti would stop.
That was a good film.
First win in the UFC.
Yeah.
I laughed at this. See, and you don't want to get rid of those mouthpieces. Those are expensive. Why are you trying
But that wasn't my mouthpiece. I left it upstairs again.
Whose mouthpiece was it?
Edwin Deweese.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good to have a good enough friend that you can borrow their mouthpiece.
Yeah, if you listen to Trevor and Todd, Doug, they're telling me what to say. It's all fall like that because I'm not
I like the double guns.
Yeah, that was just me doing that.
I like that.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah.
That kind of looks the same as it did then.
It does. It does.
I like that, the consistency.
I don't know what I hate because I don't like that. I don't like being an arrogant guy like that. But sometimes you got to do it.
Hey, man, your first UFC win.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Fuck, man. Tell you what, felt good.
Yeah.
Because at that time, there was nobody from Arizona that was in the UFC. Not at all. I was mocked being from Arizona because there was nobody here.
Well, I mean, the early ones, Don Fry.
Yeah, that was before. Yeah, there was like that stuff, and then
the new generation was just coming up.
Yeah, like myself, and then I think the next person to get in there was like Drew Fickett and something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Drew's that same. He's got 1,000 fights.
Yeah, Drew's he's like 50 fights.
Well, he was good in his time too.
Fuck, Drew got released from the UFC with I think it was like a 3-1 UFC record or something like that.
Did
he attacked the waitress at the Palms.
Oh, he beat Koscheck. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Got hurt bad. And
I believe his only loss was to Diaz at the time.
Yeah, he was a tough son of a gun. You guys were kind of that middle range before.
Yeah.
Bader and those guys.
Yeah.
Started coming up.
They all came to ACS because I'd go to Asia and wrestle with them, so they came there. And then same thing with Kane. Kane are going to
AKA, yeah. Well, this has been fun to do this.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, man. You were great. You are great.
You're great.
And what a cool career spanning, like, from Rage in the Cage where they don't allow punches on the ground, for God's sake, to
when I first started, they did, though.
And then they stopped.
Yeah, and then it was just open hand.
Yes.
But I wasn't fighting like at that time.
No. You've had an amazing career, man. And
Thanks,
now as a coach, starting to get, been in championship fights as a coach, too. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a good transition. It's getting me I like the way things are going.
Yeah.
Things are going good.
Well, you're the man. I loved watching this fight. Gosh, you have so many stories. It's like we could podcast for 17 years in a row.
You got to come on our podcast now.
Anytime. You just let me know.
Thanks, Coach.
Joe Diesel Riggs, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot, Joey.
Love you.